Archie Sharp knocks out Declan Geraghty damn near out cold in the 4th round. This was a fight that I wasn't actually going to do a post-fight review on because I wasn't really intrigued by this fight. I really did see Sharp as being a firm favourite. Having said that, I've not really rated Archie Sharp as a prospect coming up. He got a nice win over Leon Woodstock. Woodstock's nothing really to write home about. And Archie Sharp, again, he's one of them prospects where, you know, he picks up a WBO European title. It's all nice, but I don't really see anything necessarily there. And Declan Geraghty, of course, is a fighter from Dublin. Declan Geraghty is an interesting fighter because he's a very, very, very good boxer, very talented boxer. But he makes so many mistakes in that boxing ring. Whatever talent he has, he negates himself just through lunacy. And in some ways, I want to say poor technique. Not in terms of his boxing technique, but defense and his attacking technique. I'm going to get into that now. So going into this fight, I was making Sharp firm favourite. And I actually kind of thought this would be a blowout. Because Geraghty's been chinned a couple of times. He's got a very leaky defense. And he's lost fights that he's been ahead on in against guys who fought at world level. Like he was beating John O'Carroll before he got disqualified. That was a couple of years ago. Obviously, they had a rematch again. He wasn't beating John O'Carroll, to be fair, in the rematch. John O'Carroll did a good job in the rematch. But he fought James Tennyson, I think about 2 years ago. And that was a good fight. Declan Geraghty was winning that fight. James Tennyson is a very big puncher from Belfast. And he got caught, got taken out. Only a few months back, he was boxing Marco McCallum, or McCullum, however you want to pronounce it. He was winning that fight. He got chinned. This fight started off well. Declan Geraghty was boxing on the outside. Declan Geraghty is a very tall, lanky guy for 130 pounds. Southpaw. Having success with that lead right. And Archie Sharp really didn't seem to want to do it. He just had his hands up. Archie Sharp almost looked like, if you ever see two novices spar, and someone has the height and reach on the other novice. That's kind of what it's like. He just had his hands up, blocking the shots, not really wanting to do anything. And it was like that for the first 3 rounds. And you kind of thought, okay, this is interesting, because Declan Geraghty still looks fresh. It's not being fought at a murderous pace. You would give him the first 3 rounds. He could be in this fight. Going into the 4th round, I saw Geraghty make the same mistakes that he so often makes, in that when he tries to attack and put on a bit of pressure, he does it in a very crude way. Very reckless way, in a sense that he'll step in forward, but rather than stepping in with punches or punching with his opponent or punching with his hands up, he almost moves his whole body to the right or the left, which basically means he cannot see what's coming back at him. So he's lunging in there, twisting himself to one side. He can barely see what's coming back at him. That's how he gets caught so often. And he started doing that against McCallum, or he started doing that against Archie Sharp, and I kind of thought, oh boy, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. And having said that, his attacks are very crude as well, Declan Geraghty. He's very good boxing on the back foot and on the outside, but when it comes to kind of inside fighting or getting on the front foot, he's very crude. And that was again what happened. They kind of got into a bit of exchange. Geraghty kind of all over the place with his body. Archie Sharp turned around and caught him with a good left hook. It was a fantastic left hook, bang on the chin. Geraghty out cold. It's the 2nd time in a row he's been knocked out with 1 punch. And this is 5th loss. I don't know Declan Geraghty personally, but I've seen a good few of his fights, and I think it might be time to pack it in. It's not for me to say if a fighter should pack it in, but he's been knocked out a good bit now, and they've been pretty bad knockouts. So I think with Declan Geraghty, he has the talent, he doesn't have the defense, and I don't think he has the skill of attack, if that makes sense. He's just not good at applying pressure on the front foot. Very good in the back foot, decent head movement. But the minute he's to try and really, take it to an opponent, his technique's not there. Just doesn't seem to have been taught to him. His dad, Declan Geraghty Sr., who is his trainer, he is a very good technical coach. But in terms of some of the things Geraghty does in the ring, I raise an eyebrow to it. If you watch the first 3 rounds, you'll see that Geraghty was doing well. And he was just boxing the back foot, keeping his distance, doing a bit of head movement. That's fine. As soon as Sharp started getting in close, and the fight kind of became a kind of close, well, not close range, but kind of mid-range, close range, that was it. All she wrote. And a good win for Archie Sharp. Again, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I've not really rated Archie Sharp too highly. As I said, the only reason I'm doing a review for this fight is because it's an intriguing fight. It just intrigued me watching it, and that's kind of what classifies me to do a review. I will normally do reviews on fights if I rate the fighter, or if the fight turns out to be a little bit better than I had envisioned, or if it's a fighter who's just in a massive upset. Sort of like that. Like, I don't review every fight because it's tiring. It's tiring having to watch a fight to review it. So I don't review every fight. I review the fights that I feel I need to. I didn't feel like I needed to review this fight, but having watched it, it was an intriguing fight. And it was a decent knockout. I do like knockouts. But yeah, I don't know if Declan Geraghty see this video. Message to him would be, really have a look at yourself, because that's the second time in succession you've been badly knocked out. You know, I think maybe it's time to really sit down and have a look at things. He's a talented fighter, Declan Geraghty, but everyone has their limits. And seeing one-punch knockouts like that, it's not good. It's not good for the health. That's my thoughts on this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, do you think I'm sleeping on Archie Sharp a bit? Again, there's nothing really there that really, dramatically impressed me in this fight. Again, he's in a 130-pound weight class division. There are guys at British level like James Tennyson. Well, actually, no, he stepped up to 135, actually. So I was going to say I think James Tennyson will beat Archie Sharp personally. Who is there in 130 pounds in the British division? Someone maybe will jog my memory, because I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure there is some. But those are my thoughts on this. Zelfa Barrett's 130, so that might be an interesting fight. But those are my thoughts on this. Leave yours down below. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will talk to you after.